And Omni TV BC political analyst Kim Emerson, you know he's always got something to say, especially on this topic, joining us on the line. Kim, good morning to you. First things first, your reaction to the news from early this morning.
Well, I think that's the best thing that could possibly happen. It's what everybody's been hoping for. It's what everybody's been wanting for a very, very long time. But I think the clear thing is negotiations with teachers in the province of BC are completely and totally broken, and something needs to be done to fix it so we never have to go through this sort of a situation ever again.
From a political standpoint, Kim, how important is it that they found a way to negotiate a deal rather than have, let's say, legislation back to work?
Well, the big push really comes from international. China, India, the Premier's about to go on a trade mission to India where she's promoting BC education. How can you promote something that isn't working? That became a real problem for them. The other thing that became a problem politically for the government was they thought, I think in some way, they could freeze the teachers out if they just held on a little longer and teachers weren't getting any money. But then the other union stepped up and offered teachers money. And then from that point on, the government changed its stance and its attitude on E80, the controversial section of dealing with class size and composition. They completely changed around on that. They said it is negotiable, where before it hadn't been. And then you've got the political pressure coming from the foreign countries, because foreign students pay about 3 times as much as what Canadian kids pay to go to university or even to secondary education. So that's a big dollar draw that has increased massively over the past 5 or 6 years.
You know, with all of these implications, Kim, and given the fact that we're hoping a deal could be done, students could be back in class within the next few days here, on the side of the teachers, the preparation time and the quality of education, given the few weeks that have been lost, what do you think in terms of having students ready in time to start in the next couple of days? Is this realistic?
Oh, it is. I mean, teachers have been dying to get back into the classroom. Some of them haven't been in to tidy up their classroom from back in June. Normally, you would have about a week. A teacher would have about a week to go in and get things ready and prepare things. But I think overall, they really just want to get back in there and get back with the kids and start teaching. And I'm sure that they would be more than happy to be back in the class by Monday or Tuesday at the latest.
Any speculation on what the BC Supreme Court ruling coming next month might have impact-wise on this deal, or can we stop worrying about that?
No, you have to worry about that. I mean, maybe what we don't know, what Vince Reddy didn't tell us, and what we haven't heard 100% from anybody, is if there's something in there that means that class size and composition is going to be put off completely until that court case is dealt with. We don't know that at this point, but the court case is going to be key going forward. It certainly is key for the teachers. They've won twice in court, but the good news is even that, it's going to get started next month, and then it should be finished up early in 2015. So long before there's another negotiation session, there should be some finality on the court case.
And Kim, we've been garnering reaction from all sides of this negotiation. What do you think is the greatest lesson to be learned in this negotiation for students, parents, teachers, government?
Well, I think for students, it's they have to realize themselves that there has to be a better way, and they can pressure teachers and their parents and, to a certain extent, MLAs to find a better way so that they don't have to go through this again, and so that their sisters and brothers coming up behind them don't have to go through this again. Parents see for themselves that this thing doesn't work. The government has seen that it doesn't work. Teachers have seen that it doesn't work. Somebody at some point has to come up with a better model, because the one that's there is not going to work. What we also don't know is if this is a 6-year deal that the government wanted or something less. And so in that ensuing time, work has to be done to make these kinds of negotiations disappear and something more fruitful come forward.
The expectation is that we will hear from both sides in this. Education Minister Peter Fassbender will speak. BCTF President Jim Eicher will speak. Kim, do you think we're going to hear from the Premier today?
Well, I would imagine we will at some point, but to be honest with you, she has not been helpful through negotiations. She's inflamed the attitudes of teachers with some of the things that she's made mention of. So I'm sure she will say something, because it is her role to do that, but it may not be today, it may be tomorrow, or she may hold off until the legislature starts to sit again. I don't think she'll wait that long, but yeah, she will weigh in at some point. But so far, what she's had to say up till now has not been helpful, but now that there's a deal, maybe she'll be more conciliatory.
Kim Emerson, always great insights. Thanks for joining us this morning, our political reporter from Omni, BC.